You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
This is episode 222 of Horsemanship Radio, brought to you by HandsOnGloves, the all-in-one revolutionary bathing grooming gloves for horses, dogs, cats, and all of your furry friends. Greetings, everyone. Debbie and the Horsemanship crew are taking a much-deserved holiday break, so sit back and enjoy this mashup of equestrian guests from past Horse Radio Network Radiothons. But we are kicking off the show with a brand new listener-submitted holiday greeting.
I would like to extend Christmas wishes to the Horse Radio Network from my barn. Best wishes go to Debbie Laux and Horsemanship Radio. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria gratia plena, Maria gratia plena, Ave, Ave Dominus, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Jesus. Ave Maria.
All right, we are now heading into Hour 5, the Horsemanship Hour, the 5th annual Horse Radio Network 12-hour live holiday radiothon by Monty Roberts University. I am Glenn the Geek, and with me in the studio, still here, is Dr. Wendy Ying of the Driving Radio Show, and we are your MCs for the entire 12 hours. And joining Dr. Wendy and I in this hour, I think she's done this 5 times total. Yeah. She's been with us since the beginning, is Debbie Laux, host of Horsemanship Radio.
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's so good to have you here. Thanks for joining us again.
I was just listening. So we're hour 5 of the 5th annual. So I want to move my hour next year to the 6th hour in the 6th annual. I think there's more drinking going on.
Actually, the drinking's really going on about 8 o'clock tonight.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's true. I'll never make it that far.
So, Debbie, apparently the auditors have started the drinking game. And whenever you say hashtag damn it, that name of the horse that Jamie has, that's the cue for the drink. And I didn't say it because I really don't want them getting started this early.
So. You need help, don't you? Yeah.
Yes. The listeners have to be here. I still want them listening by about 3 o'clock anyway. So,
right, exactly. Yeah. So I won't say it yet.
And the theme for this year is the funniest or sneakiest thing your horse ever did. So Monty is here. Hi, Monty. Welcome back.
Hello. I am happy to be back. I tell you that. It's been a long one.
Well, yeah, you've had a busy year traveling around, but you're actually at the farm right now, right?
I am on my bed right now at the farm. And I came through the world-class crash when I got back from this trip. I can't tell you how, like really gratifying it was, and at the same time exhausting to the max.
Well, even the Queen doesn't travel as much as you.
Not at all. Not at all. And yet, her mind travels, I tell you, and I could give you some stories on the recent trips she's made that would just stop your heart. I mean, is unbelievable how wonderful this lady is.
Well, it's nice to have you here too, and I gotta believe we have a theme today, and it's the funniest or sneakiest thing your horse ever did. Now, you've had a lot of horses in the past, and you've had a few sneaky ones, but do you have a story for us?
Well, I have a little story for you. I'm not one to look at the horses doing sneaky things because I try to keep them, cooperating with the human beings all the time. But if you want me to go ahead with this tiny one,
yes,
I'll do it. Well, there was a stretch in time when I was between 9 and, I guess, 12 years of age, something like that, where I competed in something like 250 musical chairs events. And the reason that you do a musical chairs event is that there's as many points in that particular contest as there is the rest on the day, the important ones. And certainly musical chairs is not an important one. But if you get the points, it's important because you want to be the all-around champion of the show. And I was undefeated in the musical chairs. Now, how can you be undefeated in the musical chairs? Because it's a game of chance. The music stops, and you got to find a chair, and there's one fewer chairs than there are contestants, except that Brownie took care of me. And a few little tricks along the line. I would move into Phoenix or Tucson with a 20-foot lead rope when the rest of the kids were using an 8-foot lead rope. And when I got off of Brownie, he took care of the rest of them on his own. And he learned that they invade him. They invade him when I get off. So he would chase them away. And I would have a chair to sit in. If I took 5 minutes to sit down, I'd still have a chair to sit in. And a lot of people said it was cheating. Well, yeah, I suppose you could make a case for that. But, when I tuned in today, someone was singing. That's wonderful. So I'd rather tell you a story about a cheeky horse than to sing, because then everybody would turn their radios off, and you wouldn't like that.
I think that was, one of the things you learn in business is to go for your strengths, use your strengths. You were just using your strength, right? I mean,
yeah, and he was some kind of strong. You can't believe what he would do. First of all, he would canter so slowly that nobody, could, and you couldn't pass. That was against the rules. So he would canter very slowly, and everybody would stack up behind him. Obviously, that's the only place they could go. And so they stack up behind him, and the music stops, and all the chairs are sitting out there in front of me with nobody around. And I could just run him for about 3 strides and step off, and then he would chase the other horses away, literally.
I wish there was a video of this, Debbie. We could have this go viral.
Exactly.
Oh, he was something. And then there would be angry fathers come down out of the grandstand and say, "You're cheating. My kid should have won this." Oh, and the last thing you do is to go against one other remaining one. And one chair is sitting down at the end of the show ring or the arena, whatever it was. And he could run a bit, so he would run along, keeping up with the other horse. And when I started to step off, he would just bolt sideways and run the other horse off. And the chair is sitting there for me with 20 feet of rope. And I just didn't get beat. There was no question about it.
So funny.
Again, using your strengths, smarts, and brawn. There we get to both.
Yeah, I suppose.
You had your own bouncer, Monty.
Yeah.
What?
You had your own bouncer, like at a bar.
I had my own bouncer. Yeah.
Awesome.
You have reached the Horse Radio Network voicemail line. Please leave your voicemail after the tone.
Hi, this is Nicole from HorseLovers.com, and the funniest thing my horse has ever done is that in order to clean his stall, he required you to scratch him with a pitchfork. Merry Christmas from all of us at HorseLovers.com.
Happy holidays to everyone at the Horse Radio Network. This is Jill Ekus from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the naughtiest thing my pony's ever done is decide that he no longer wanted to load on my janky trailer. I wrote a song about it. Rocking around the trailer ramp, there's a pony rearing up. It's ugly as sin, and he won't go in, and there's just no giving up. 1 foot on the trailer ramp, he pretends to fall asleep. I've got carrots and treats that he just won't eat, and he just won't budge his butt. Monty Roberts makes a dually halter you can buy. Equus lessons, repetition will solve this. Let's get one for each and every size. Walking on the trailer ramp, this is so much easier.
Right.
If you listen to me, you can guarantee you can put those whips away.
Isn't that good?
Yay!
Yay!
Hey, guys.
Well, once again, they were terrific, weren't they? The one with the loading was hilarious.
That was fun.
Oh, that was perfect.
That's your
That
theme
was
song.
Yeah, you need that for your ads.
We need to play that
I
on
know.
your show.
That's our new marketing campaign right there.
Do you want to introduce your guest?
I would love to. So this hour we have an unbelievable guest, really. None other than Priscilla Presley herself. And she tells Glenn and I about Christmas at Graceland with Elvis and their horses. Well, welcome, Priscilla Presley. And I've got Marty Irby on the line as well. How are you both?
Doing well so far.
Yeah, good. I wanted to hear from you, Priscilla, were there any horses in your life as a child? Did you grow up with horses?
I didn't grow up with horses, no, but I had a love of horses. When I lived in Texas, my father was at the Bergstrom Air Force Base, and in the back of that there was a pasture, and horses were on that pasture. Not a lot, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6. And I would go out, and every moment that I could, and would just pet them and be around them. And I found that when I was around them, I felt very safe and I felt very calm. And there's something about them that just, brings that to one. I mean, maybe not all, but I know that people that I talk to that are horse people find that same feeling, that same resolve, just to get away and be around them. And I know that people do know that we had horses at the stables in Memphis and still do to this day. Mm-hmm. And that was my favorite time, to be alone. And, of course, Elvis's as well. It was that same feeling he had, to go get away from the house, the people, and just be around the calmness of the horses and the sereneness of that calm.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think we can all relate to that, Priscilla. I think sometimes people don't even know how to verbalize that. You did it very well. I really appreciate it. Because it is so important that people recognize those qualities in horses right now so that we can keep them in our lives. And I love what don't you think? And so enumerating what we appreciate about them might be difficult, but sometimes I think just advocates are the best way to keep the message going that they mean no harm to us and that we should have no harm to them.
And I also found that they really reflect you. That you have to also bring that calmness in. Most people who aren't around horses are in fear of the magnificent, statue of them, or the fact that they're larger than life to some people, and it could definitely be something that one would fear. But when you are calm and when you can be around them and let them come to you and do it very gently, it's amazing what comes out. And, I've had horses put their head on my shoulders. I've had them nudge me to pet them or nudge me to get on the back and ride. So that connection, and it is that care factor to want to learn more about them and be around them.
We were fortunate enough, Priscilla, to be invited a couple of years ago to come in and do our show live from the barn at Graceland. And we got to talk to Aileen Alexander, who I guess had been the barn manager there for 30 years, long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, she has.
And the stories of Elvis and his horse, some of them were very funny. I mean, do you remember the first horse that came, that he got there?
Well, the first horse that he had when I was there was Rising Sun, his Golden Palomino.
Yeah, beautiful.
And what was funny was the fact that he loved it. He loved and enjoyed so much riding that he too just couldn't wait to come home and get on his horse, have it saddled, get on his horse, and start having it run down the hills of Graceland, and people would start gathering out in the front, and Elvis loved showing his horse off. The problem is, or it became a problem, was that he loved it so much that he felt, he started with this because he bought me a horse for Christmas, a belated gift. And that's how he started. He watched me ride every day from his office upstairs, and then he wanted to get on the fun, to get on the fun of riding. But he loved it so much that even if you didn't like a horse, you got a horse. He wanted to share it with all the guys and their wives. So it was at one time that the grounds were filled with horses and people racing up and down the front lawn. And I think he had his greatest joy during that time. But Lamar Fike, who was quite heavy at that time, actually most of the time, did not want one. And he says, no, you have to have a horse. And he goes, I don't know, I'm too heavy. I can't get on the horse. He says, you're getting on a horse. So he gets on that horse, and the horse took away with him. And Elvis started laughing so hard because, he had a little quirky sense of humor. But he started laughing because the horse took off on Lamar. And Elvis, of course, trailed after him. But he made it to the end of the lawn and got off the horse, and he said, that's the last time I'm ever going to get on that horse again. And Elvis said, oh, no, you're not. You're getting on again. But it was really a fun time. And yes, he loved it very, very much, and would go out almost every night after the movies, early in the mornings, and just be out there and talk and pet his horses, and it was really beautiful to watch.
Is this a rumor? We heard while we were there that he used to wake everybody up. Some nights he couldn't sleep, and he'd wake everybody up 3 or 4 in the morning, and to go horse shopping. And I didn't know if this was we saw the book, by the way, where they wrote down every horse he ever bought. It's like a lot, 100. It was a lot of horses. Was that true? That he used to go out to horse shopping, knock on people's doors, and say, I want to buy your horse?
Oh, yeah, we did that. Absolutely, yes. He would go knocking at 2:00 in the morning at a rancher's ranch and or a farmer, and knock on the door and say, do you have a Golden Palomino? I'm Elvis.
I'm Elvis.
And we're just standing there, and they're gaping, eyes wide open, maybe thinking it's a dream or something. They were just floored.
Well, I got to tell you, the last person you expect to knock on your door at 2 in the morning when you live in the country is Elvis. It was like...
Yes, that's true. Those are fun days, I have to say.
The book was incredible, Debbie. The book has a record of every horse he ever bought, and it was literally, there was a lot of horses. I guess he got another farm at one point because, as you said, it got kind of crowded at Graceland.
Hold the horses.
Yeah.
Yes, well, as you saw, the barn at Graceland isn't that large. I had at that time had 8 stalls, and so the more horses we got, because like I said, everyone had to have a horse, whether you liked it or not. So we bought a ranch in Mississippi, and yes, housed all the horses.
Well, I have to ask you too.
We bought them all from Graceland to that particular stable. Yeah.
And I know that was his safe space. Apparently, he told people when he went out to the barn, that was it. He went out to the barn. You had to ask to come out. It was his time. But what was the holidays like? Did they involve the horses? Did Christmas Day involve horses, or was it mostly inside? Or
Well, when we had the horses, yes, it was the Christmas. Domino, the horse that he presented me as a gift with, was right after Christmas, because he was looking for a certain horse for me, a quarter horse. So, but from then on, yes, he would definitely ride around Christmas time. He loved Christmas, so it didn't matter whether it would be Christmas or Thanksgiving. I mean, he just liked to ride.
just a man and his horse. Did you have any? The Radiothon theme is about horses that are a little mischievous or cantankerous or did something. Do you have any Houdinis at the ranch that got out of the barn on occasion, or any funny stories on that?
Well, occasionally, yes, and I'm sure Aileen probably told, because she was with the horses all the time. You know, she was just a master at taking care of those horses. But there were a time when one of them opened up the stall and himself and was roaming around outside, and no one could. We did think maybe there was something or someone there that let the horse out. But I guess horses can be quite clever, and they can manipulate their mouths. If they want out, they want out. So this particular horse did it a couple of times. I can't remember his name, but yes, that has happened. Also picking up the feed bucket when they were hungry, or kicking the bucket when they were hungry because it was dinner time, or wanted more. But they all had a personality, and each one of them were different in themselves, and would shock us if you certainly couldn't turn your back on some of them because you did a nudge.
I'll tell you, Priscilla, you just made everybody feel happy that your horses were just like their horses.
Just like ours. That's right. That's right. Thank you for the little inside stories, too. We all have them, and we all have names for them, too. Not just Houdinis, but yeah, no, they're smarter than, people give them credit for, and maybe they are getting better about giving horses a lot more sentient credit these days. But so you just said you had quarter horses and Tennessee walking horses. So tell us a little bit about, how did that really evolve to Tennessee walking horses?
Well, actually, it was opposite the Tennessee walking horses. That was Bear. He loved the look of the Tennessee walking horse. So stately, so beautiful, and his horse was called Bear. And that all started through a farm that we went to, George Lennox. You may have heard about George Lennox, but he was in Collierville, I believe. Yes. And we went up to his ranch, and he had Carbon Copy. Carbon Copy was probably the world champion in the day, and oh my gosh, he was so beautiful that Elvis was in awe on how this horse moved. And Joe Webb worked for George Lennox and got on the horse and showed Elvis the ride of the Tennessee walking horse. And that was it. And from that time on, he went and looked for a beautiful Tennessee walking horse.
Debbie, we have a cool job.
Isn't really it fun? She just sparkles, doesn't she? She's just so cool. I'm so pleased that we get to have her on, and I hope we get to share her some more. Not only in the other episode, but this past act is really close, so it's just close to my heart too. That Tennessee walking horses are beautiful. They really are cool.
I was so disappointed when we went to. I wasn't disappointed at going to Graceland and doing the show there. That was pretty cool. That's still one of my highlights of all the 5,000 episodes I've done. It still is. But she was supposed to be there that day and got called out for something. So see,
it was set up for this.
I know. It
had to be on Horsemanship Radio.
So I finally got to talk to her, and it was just neat because everything she described I could visualize because we had seen it all. So it was cool.
Yeah.
He loved his horses.
To go visit.
Good morning. This is Elizabeth Toby. The sneakiest thing my horse ever did was to bat his brown eyes at me from under his lids. I fell in love with him at first sight, and now he gets to run my life. He lets me know when he wants food by banging the stall door with his well-shod hooves. He barely leads at all, I'm afraid, unless he first inspects every grass blade. And yet, when he carries me on his back, he is willing to ignore all the skills I lack. Because he takes such good care of me, this old lady can still run free.
HandsOnGloves is the #1 ranked multi-award winning patented animal shedding, bathing, grooming gloves that animals prefer for their generous massage that they provide. Hands On is currently expanding to bring you revolutionary new animal products as well as high-quality, effective gardening gloves and tools. Hands On Gloves will change the way we tackle everyday animal and gardening activities, making those efforts faster and more effective. Whether you have a house full of cherished fur babies, a garden full of prize-worthy vegetables, a ranch of prized livestock, or the best rose garden in town, Hands On Gloves provides you with the tactical tools you need to get the job done right. They're non-abrasive with flexible round tips and strong nylon fabric. They make the perfect grooming gloves. Find Hands On Gloves at your local retailers or at handsongloves.com.
In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan, earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? Give my
Well, that was the beautiful Emma, 11 years old. Well done, girl.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm back, and I am here with some very, very special guests. I'm so excited to be finally hosting a show with my dear friend, Debbie Laux. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Jamie, we finally did it, didn't we? We became co-hosts.
It has happened, but you know what? There's somebody else on the line who's going to keep us in line, and that is, of course, your dad, Monty. Hi, Monty.
Hi, Jamie. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. Debbie and I are going to try not to get in too much trouble. Now, we are very happy to have on the line Martin Clunes. Debbie, take it away.
Oh, hi, Martin. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine, thank you. I was miles away.
I'm so
In every
glad you're
sense.
here. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here then, really. That was a Weather Beater commercial, which is very appropriate for the UK. So let me tell a little bit of our American audience who you are, if they don't already know. But you're the UK's most consistently popular television actor, hands down. Yes, you are. And starring in the long-running Doc Martin about a socially challenged doctor. It's not you. In Cornwall, England. Martin and Monty appeared together on Martin's Horsepower, an investigation into man's relationship with horses. So here you go, Monty and Martin.
Hi,
Martin,
Monty.
how are
there?
you? I'm here, Martin. Can you hear me?
I can perfectly, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How's the family?
We're all grand, thank you. We're all here.
Thank you for the afternoon. Thank you for the afternoon and birthday party and everything. I hope you got your rope. She has it over there, that's for sure.
Yes, she does. Yeah, I'm not sure whether to arm her with it just yet, but yeah.
Okay.
We got it, but thank you so much.
I have to tell the listening audience that wherever I go in the world, my team, anytime there's a controversy of any sort, they say to me, "Now, Monty, settle down. Just think, what would Martin Clunes do?" And you're speaking with the nicest man in the world. This guy is just such a hero for me, and I enjoy every minute that I have with him.
Well, Monty, shucks.
Now tell me how Ronnie and Bruce are.
They're grand, thank you. They're really well. They're kind of, we haven't had massive rain. We had a couple of days, but we're all right. I'm not in feather panic mode. Usually when it's really muddy, I wash their legs 2 or 3 times a week because the feathers get brittle bits of mud and then they snap off and then we're all embarrassed.
Now, for those who don't know, let me jump in there because my in-laws are named Bruce and Ronnie. We're not talking about them. No, we're talking about Martin's Clydesdales, right?
Yeah.
2 Clydesdales that I had the pleasure to work with when they were babies and then came all the way through with them. And I had the distinct pleasure to watch, I think, Ronnie a few weeks ago.
Oh, no, Bruce, that's Bruce.
Bruce in full dressage in their menage there on their property. And it was a sight to see. I couldn't believe how professional this horse looked out there as a Clydesdale doing maneuvers in the dressage world. It was just great.
Yeah, we're so proud of him. He's a real trier. I think it's that breed thing. It's what Clydes do, isn't it? They put their head down and get on with whatever challenge you throw at them.
That's true, and they get along with people. It's a good thing that they're so nice because they're so big. They would not be nice to be around if they were. No,
you wouldn't want to make enemies of them. No,
no, not at all. But I think they have some questions for you because I just gave them my fantasy ride. I was thrown this morning, and I believe I did the right thing, but they're going to ask you the same question. Maybe Debbie's got that one.
Well, that's right. That's exactly it. We wanted to hear your fantasy ride too, Martin. We just heard Dad's, and it can be any horse, past or present, in any setting. Tell us what it looked like.
Well, okay. Am I allowed 2 horses? Because that's the fantasy element, is riding both of them.
Well, they're pretty tall. We'll give you 2 horses. Yeah.
Thank you. Because it's the nice thing about driving them is you get to, relate to 2 of them at a time. And I just wish there was a way of just hanging some sort of hammock between the 2 of them.
I just almost spit out my coffee. It was so cute.
It's good. I suppose somebody must have tried all this, mustn't they, at some point in history?
I've never heard of that.
I'm sure.
There'll be drawings somewhere.
Yeah, in a cave.
Yes. I suppose, yes. I bet somebody's done it,
Yeah.
Monty, haven't you done it in your stuntman days?
I have actually gone on to a team and gone down in the middle like you see and then pulled it up so that the girl wouldn't die. And then some actor stepped in and got the girl. But I did it as a teenager a few times. It was not a hammock, I assure you, and it was pretty scary. But Martin and I have had some good times, and in the early days of his driving Ronnie and Bruce at my demonstrations, there was some poor lady in a wheelchair that got a real startle when he went whizzing by her at about 2 inches from her wheelchair. And
we left her in it, We left her in it.
We did. And it turns out that she was injured in a hunting accident and was a very good rider in her day, and she was laughing about the whole thing.
Yes, she was. She was tickled, yeah.
Yeah, she was great. And we've had some really good times, and I don't want it to be the end. I just want the listeners to know that I did the only remote control loading that I've ever done with Martin.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a horse that was, I think, 2 years or something. He wouldn't load on a trailer. And I just stepped back and told Martin what I would suggest he did. And he loaded the horse in about 3.5 or 4 minutes. And the owners were aghast. They were just absolutely standing there with their mouths open. And the audience loved it because they always think, oh, that's Monty Roberts and he can do it, but nobody else can. And there was Martin Clunes loading this atrocious horse in no time at all. It was so much fun. It
was fun, yes. I can't claim any credit for it. I'm just following instructions, that's how my life goes, Monty. You've met my wife.
Well, that's me too. That's another world for me.
Martin, I have to ask you, Martin, have Ronnie and Bruce, since they were started right there in the round pen iconically on Dad's tour, have they ever appeared on Doc Martin?
No, they haven't. I don't think we've ever had a single horse.
No?
Which, yes, we might need to address that.
I think so.
Yeah.
They need SAG cards first. That's true, David.
Yeah, we have to speak with Martin's wife, Philippa, on that because she sort of runs the show, doesn't she?
She's the boss, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You work together on that. Well, can you?
Yes,
they can sneak in.
She's the producer. Yeah,
that's true. You have to
and
sneak
Debbie,
them in the past.
You know that Philippa told me you can get ready to see Doc Martin do an Epley maneuver, which we went over while I was there about how it's helped me with my balance and vertigo.
That's right.
And so Doc Martin is supposed to do an Epley maneuver on somebody in upcoming episodes.
Okay, stay tuned for the Epley maneuver for Doc Martin.
We're magpies for bits of medical procedure. Anything we can do is shoehorn it into our program.
Well, in all fairness, Martin, haven't you had people claim that you helped them with their medical needs?
And people have just gone and checked. Yes, there's a couple of people just went back to their GP and said, "Just can you check this lump, please?" Because yes, there was a guy with throat cancer who thankfully was got it properly diagnosed and was treated and recovered. But he said it was down to us. There was an episode.
Isn't that something?
Saving lives.
Isn't that something? And I can assure you, I'm sure he's not a doctor, really, but
I'm not. But I've got a lot of enthusiasm, which will make up for now.
That's it. Yeah.
You really get to say that. I get to play one on TV, like the iconic commercial over here. Yeah, and does Philippa ride the horses too? Does she ride the big Clyde?
Oh yes. Yeah. She rides dressage is her thing, and she's been having that problem of trying to find the right horse for a long time, but he turned up 3 or 4 months ago. His name's Aldo. He's Irish sport, thoroughbred cross, and he's about, how old is Aldo? 9? Yeah. He's 9, and he's really nice. He's really nice, and they're getting on so well. So all the misery of the wrong horse keep coming around.
Yeah.
And the two of you would be so interested to hear that Philippa has been on our courses in England, and really takes her horsemanship seriously right from the ground up. With she loves it. She really does. Yeah, she's a great one for studying it, and she goes off on dressage weekends and things. And this is what she's been missing, but she's back in the swing of it now.
Yeah, fun.
That's great.
Are we going to see more horsepower in the future?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would love it. I'd go on doing it forever, but you kind of have to sneak these things past them because they say, no, that's been done now. There's a talk of doing something with the jockey, the jockey club, the regulating board of the horse racing in England. Maybe getting a sort of, because that's quite, that all seems to go on behind closed doors. Yes. And I think they're quite ready to.
The two of you should know that Doc Martin and Martin Clunes on the side has been all over the world doing things for animals, including whales and fishes of the sea and the ecology completely, but all around the islands of England, speaking to the issues of the animals. It's just been fantastic what he's done, and I so
we
appreciate
just did the islands of Australia this year, which was quite a blast. Yeah.
This is sort of your travel log. You get to do these wonderful trips because you have to go film them, right?
I know. Poor me.
I know. I want that job. I have to be funny though, and you're too funny, so I can't get that job. People enjoy. I know from the U.S. I wish we had more access to you, but people are starting to get to know you over here, and they will love you like one of our most endeared actors, I'm sure, because that's the way it is in England. And we're very excited to see more of you over here. And it's so good to hear someone who's a genuine horse person, who really has them in his yard and takes good care of them, loves them, and it comes through on the TV in Horsepower, certainly, Martin. So I appreciate that.
Oh. Yeah, no, we love our horses.
Yeah, I know you do. And people will love them too. Google Ronnie and Bruce and Martin Clunes, and you'll see the cutest relationship going on with these guys. I don't know. Now, do Ronnie and Bruce, do they get jealous of each other or anything, do you think?
No, they don't actually. No, they're very different personalities. Bruce is a real worker, and he's as honest as the day long. Ronnie's quite cheeky. So if he sees Bruce being taken off to do something, he's like, well, good, you go do it, I don't care. It's quite bullshit.
You two girls would really understand when I say that John Forsyth is gone and reincarnated is Martin Clunes. He's the John Forsyth for me of the world, and I just so admired that man and what he did in all of his work and how he loved his horses.
Did too, Dad. You're absolutely right. Well, that's wonderful. I thank you for calling us girls, first of all. Thank you.
Love it.
You love it, Jamie. Thank you. And thank you to gentlemen for joining us today on Horsemanship Radio.
It's my birthday today. I'm 55 today.
And I was going to say, can we say happy birthday?
Thank you very much. I'm not going to do 55 press-ups though, Monty.
Oh
no, but I just realized that you could be my son. It's amazing.
Hey, my bro, Martin Clunes. Hi.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just one of the girls, so you guys go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Next
happy
generation.
birthday. Have a great
Thank you very much. It's great to speak to you all.
And thank you.
Good, Martin. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care, Monty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care and
Bye,
happy
Debbie.
birthday.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
My dream ride would be to tag along with Ben-Hur in the Great Chariot Race behind those 4 white horses racing around the arena.
My fantasy ride would be to ride Black Beauty. I watched all the episodes as a kid, and I wanted a horse like Beauty, galloping across the moors, and Beauty always knew when there was danger around. And if you were upset, Beauty was there for you. It was such a magical show, and that would be my fantasy ride. I know you won't agree, Glenn, because you don't like Black Beauty, but for all of us who were little girls back then and watched Beauty, we loved it. Anyway, I hope you all have a great Christmas, and this is from Diane Brooks in Ontario.
Hi everyone, Fiona from England here. Being a photographer, I'm not the most talented at singing or writing poems, so I've gone for sharing my fantasy ride with you all. I would have to pick Shadowfax. He's Gandalf's horse in Lord of the Rings, but I'm sure you all knew that. And the reason I pick him is because apparently he runs faster than the wind, but most importantly of all, he can understand human speech, which would make my life a heck of a lot easier. Anyway, thank you all for another fabulous year of entertainment and wishing you all happy holidays. Bye.
Hey, it's Gemma, once again calling to wish everyone at Horse Radio Network happy holidays and happy horsey days. I'd have to say that I'm lucky in that my fantasy ride happens every day of the week. That ride is the amazing ride that each HRN show takes us listeners on. You make us laugh, cry, educate us, and most importantly, bring us together into one beautiful, supportive, horsey family. However, if given the chance, I wouldn't pass up a ride on Vallegro. Anyway, here's to the ride.
Well, welcome, Boyd Martin. You're an all-in fearless rider. I'm so happy to have you on today.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me on, Debbie.
We want to know what is your fantasy ride?
To be honest, I was thinking about this for a while, and I'll tell you which horse I'd love to event is California Chrome. I think we would have no trouble galloping between the fences. And, when I look at California Chrome on TV, I've never seen him in person, but he's just a fantastic specimen of a horse. And, he just has that great... And like I said, I'm very, very confident that he'd be fast enough for the cross country. Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to happen because I know he's a stay-in, so I think he's worth multi-millions of dollars as a racehorse sire. So the chances of California Chrome ending up as an event horse is very, very slim.
Well, thanks again for joining us on this special holiday episode. We'll see you again on the 15th of the month, which is when the Horsemanship Radio Show goes out, 1st and the 15th. In the meanwhile, you can go to montyroberts.com to find out everything you need to know about Equus Online University and the California Horse Center. Thank you again to our title sponsor, Hands On Gloves. You can find them online at handsongloves.com.